Hi, well, welcome back. So now I'm going to turn the GTS shader on. I've finished the terrain and I'm going to call that finished. I may later paint a bit more grass on the side of some of the mountains. Oh, hang on 2 seconds actually. There was a part that I didn't like. Well, no, I'm going to leave it at that. So, these are a bit grey, I think, but see if we can get rid of some of that with this shader. So, GTS shader. I don't think it's on this terrain, is it? Got the terrain, the basic terrain. I wish they'd stop trying to make these smaller. They keep making them smaller so you can hardly... Well, I don't think they actually use computers. I think they just program them sometimes. So, where is the shader on it? Is there a GTS terrain shader? So I'll add that. GTS terrain. So now call up my profile. Yeah, that's with the profile itself, so I think that's it. The terrain collider, terrain override. Terrain collider, terrain override. So that's on every terrain. Later I will need it on because I will apply to all terrains. I'll get one set up properly and then apply it to all. So terrain override. Now what's that? That can't be it. Overwrite. Oh, did I add it to the wrong one? I added it to that, didn't I? Oh, it is the actual override. I thought it were override. Remove that. Terrain detail overwrite. Yeah, so. Well, that's 24. I'm taking out of those settings. And I'll go to terrain 4, which is where I set up, but it says it's actually gone. Change back again. So I'll make this will probably be too much. 100 by 80. Apply to all terrains. Yeah, so that's worked. So I just want to go back to this to make sure. Move up because that's where it is everywhere else. image profiles on there, so we should be good to go. So I'm going to do a quick save. And we'll apply the profile. And let's hope that the texture rays don't match the updated terrain layers. Would you like to regenerate them now? Yes. And I made a big problem here. A mistake rather. I didn't back it up. I didn't back the project up before I did this. So let's keep fingers crossed that I don't have to do those rivers again. Or anything else. Or was that added it? Yeah, that's added it. Yeah, that's added it. Yeah, we've got the corrosion. I'll have to look into these rivers because they're kind of purple. I don't know where that's coming from. Right, so I'm going to do a little bit of work on this, but first I'm going to do a quick fly, see if just to make sure that everything seems to be close to reasonable. I'm going to pause this while this does. Right, it's finished saving and I've ended up with this. Yeah, your guess is as good as mine. I'm going to restart the project and see if it disappears, because last time it did this, it just disappeared. In fact, before I do that, I'm going to go into play mode, see if that sorts anything out. Well, in the process of trying to fix the black dots, black squares issue, it seems to have solved itself, which is what happened last time. There is a process here on the canopy forum that fixes it, but when I checked that website, then went back to the scene as I was saving it, because it recreates the textures fine. Then when you save the project, it messes them up. That's what that post solved. But as I was looking at that post, I came back to the scene and it asked if I wanted to regenerate. I had to reload the scene. So I reloaded the scene and the problem's gone. It would probably have gone if I'd restarted the project. To be honest, I think that's what happened before, although I can't be certain. So anyway, let's see if that solved it in play mode. Well, it seems to be okay in play mode. Let's try a dragon. I need to move on to this and solve this problem with these dragons being bright. So let's have a quick nifty. Yeah, that seems to have come out okay. Did the work on the actual profile earlier, so I'm quite happy with how this is looking as it is. Although I did think that some things, maybe it was the grass or the sand was a bit tiley. Well, the grass seems to be okay. Although it can be a little bit tiley. But I think any grass that I add will cover that up. Notice that water there on that river actually doesn't move. Oh, it's slow, it's flowing really slow. But like I say, I've said before, I'll check things like that out later. Just want to try and get to some sand. Actually, I'm going in the wrong direction. There's a whole land over there. Where's the nearest ocean? That's there. I was at it. I was started by the side of it, so I'll keep quiet a bit and I'll fly through this and do a time lapse. This section is looking a lot better. It was just a plain sand previously until I did all the changes. Looks a lot better now with those sort of layers, levels, whatever you want to call them. I'm getting now where I've kind of done all the texture work on the terrain itself. I think the terrain will kind of do what it is now. Yeah, there's a bit of a tiling on the sand. You can see that. It's probably worse over here when the weather's... Yeah, that's a bit tiled, that sand. So I'll see if I can remove that a bit, but I do just want to check if I can get it, if I can reach in a pretty reasonable amount of time. I want to check the new place where I repaired the terrain. I must say, it's quite fun just playing about in this, to be honest. But then I am a kid, big kid. Yeah, it's a bit tiley, that grass, that sand. Yeah, that's where the hole in the terrain was, over there. I just want to check these cliff edges up just here around this corner to see what they are looking like, see if they do actually look realistic-ish. There would be better if there's some waves crashing up against it, but then I'm gonna change the ocean later. I'm gonna try. I've got the Suinomo one, but that created waves, but it's really slowed the game down. I'll call it a game for lack of a better word. Yeah, this is the older terrain. where the terrain was only that part over there, but yeah, it looks okay, that. And I'm happy with these Dover style cliffs. And the rivers look okay, so I think we can leave it at that for this one. Yeah, I'm really liking those cliffs. I'm not so keen on these bobbly bits, these, like, but, well, they're not too bad. They're not. I'm not going to go through the old terrain and get rid of them, put it that way. I've done enough, spent enough time on this up to now. I mean, obviously I'm revitalising the project, so it's... I just want to check, I will just check up round this corner. This is where that flat bit was on the side of the hills, but with this terrain shade it probably won't look so bad, which is why I didn't change it. I mean, I'm not going to change it anyway, no matter what it looks like, he says. I think it's just over this section. Yeah, I think this might be it actually. It all seemed a bit slopey, but it'll not be too bad now, especially when you get some trees on there and that. Yeah, there's a bit of, yeah, it's there, that bit there, but that looks okay from a distance. And I better get once I get up close. That'll be okay, I think. Yeah, I think I'll take that as... Yeah, this is the area, but that's okay. I'm not so keen on the sand being down at the bottom, but I can look at that later. Just, yeah, this is the older bit, this is where the holes were, so I may as well have a quick look. Yeah, I'm liking this. I think the water's still, yeah, can't see anything underwater. Yeah, I'm quite glad that hole appeared actually. Now it looks a lot better around here now. Quite realistic.